Malicious QR code overlays. A common phishing method is placing a fake QR code sticker over a legitimate one. The attacker prints a new code that looks genuine and pastes it on posters, menus, flyers, or payment terminals. When scanned, it redirects to a malicious website instead of the real one. The site might mimic a trusted service to steal login credentials or payment details. This works because most people trust physical locations, assuming the QR code is safe if it's in a familiar place. For example, if a restaurant menu has a QR code for ordering, an attacker could cover it with their own code linking to a fake order page. Even careful users may not notice since the visual difference is minimal. Phishing through shortened QR URLs. Some QR codes are designed to lead to long URLs, but attackers often use link shorteners to hide the destination. A link shortener is a service that converts a long web address into a shorter one, which is easier to print on a QR code. The problem is, you can't see where it actually goes until after you scan it. This lets attackers hide malicious domains behind something that looks harmless. For example, a QR code might point to tinyurl.com, offer 2025, but that could actually lead to a phishing site pretending to be your bank. Since the original domain is hidden, it's much harder to judge the safety before visiting. QR code-based fake app downloads. Attackers can encode links to fake app files in QR codes, leading to malware installation. On Android, this might be an APK file downloaded directly. On iOS, it could be a link to a malicious site designed to trick you into installing a fake configuration profile. Once installed, these files can steal passwords, track activity, or give remote control of the device. This method works especially well in public places where people expect to find useful apps, such as a museum QR code promising an audio guide or an event code offering a ticket scanner app. If the code is fake, scanning it can compromise your phone instantly. Payment redirection via QR codes. One of the most profitable QR code phishing tricks is payment redirection. In this scam, attackers replace or tamper with the QR codes used for digital payments. For example, a shop might display a QR code that links to their official payment account. An attacker can print a similar-looking code, but link it to their own account. When a customer scans and pays, the money goes directly to the attacker. This tactic is common in self-service kiosks, street vendors, or donation boxes, where staff do not constantly monitor the displayed code. Since the payment confirmation still shows a name, which can be faked with a similar-looking account name, victims often don't realize the fraud until much later. QR codes leading to credential harvesting pages. Credential harvesting is when attackers use a fake login page to steal usernames and passwords. With QR codes, this is done by linking to a cloned website that looks identical to the real one. For instance, a QR code on a workplace notice board might claim to be for remote login or secure employee access. When scanned, it leads to a page identical to the company's portal, prompting you to enter your credentials. The attacker then captures these details and can use them to access the real system. This works well in environments where QR codes are seen as a quick and legitimate way to access work tools. Wi-Fi network spoofing through QR codes. A QR code can store Wi-Fi login details, allowing devices to connect without typing a password. Attackers can use this feature to make victims join malicious networks. For example, a QR code at a cafe might say free Wi-Fi, but scanning it connects you to the attacker's hotspot instead of the real one. Once connected, the attacker can intercept unencrypted traffic, inject malicious code, or redirect you to phishing sites. Since phones automatically trust Wi-Fi details stored in QR codes, users rarely check whether the network name and password match the official ones. Social engineering through QR codes. Attackers often combine QR codes with persuasive messages to push victims into scanning without thinking. This is social engineering, manipulating people into taking risky actions. A QR code might be printed on a flyer claiming, "Scan to claim your free reward," or "Urgent, account verification required." The urgency or promise of a benefit lowers caution. For example, A fake delivery notice left at your door could have a QR code supposedly to reschedule the package. Scanning it takes you to a phishing page asking for your personal details and payment card number. These attacks work because the QR code adds an extra layer of perceived legitimacy compared to a random link. Phishing via email or messaging app QR codes. Phishing isn't limited to physical QR codes. Attackers send them digitally too. Emails or instant messages can include QR codes as images, claiming to provide quick access to offers, login pages, or secure documents. This bypasses some email security filters that scan for dangerous links in text, but might not detect malicious links hidden inside QR codes. For instance, a fake email from a streaming service might say, "Scan to verify your account," leading to a page that steals login details. Since the QR code must be scanned with a phone, it also bypasses some desktop-based security protections. QR codes in fake surveys and feedback forms. In some scams, attackers use QR codes to direct people to fake survey pages. These pages ask for feedback, but secretly collect personal data, payment information, or login credentials. A common variation is offering an incentive, such as a gift card, after completing the survey. The QR code might be printed on a receipt, stuck to a restaurant table, or shared on social media. Once scanned, the victim is asked to sign in to confirm eligibility, which hands their account details to the attacker. This works well because surveys feel harmless, and scanning a QR code for convenience feels routine. Malware delivery through QR codes. QR codes can link directly to malicious files, turning a simple scan into a device compromise. For Android devices, attackers often host a disguised APK file that looks like a legitimate app. For computers, the QR code might link to a zip or PDF file containing malware. On iPhones, attackers might trick users into installing malicious configuration profiles that change device settings or route traffic through attacker-controlled servers. A fake "Update Your App" sign with a QR code in a store can lure victims into downloading the malware. Once installed, the malware can steal data, monitor activity, or lock files for ransom. QR codes in public spaces with no verification. Publicly displayed QR codes on posters, bulletin boards, or advertisements are easy targets for tampering. Attackers simply place a small sticker with their own QR code over the original. This can happen at bus stops, parking meters, or event venues. Since most people assume the code belongs to the official source, they scan without suspicion. These altered codes can lead to phishing sites, install malware, or collect sensitive details. Because the tampering is so subtle, many victims never realize they've been targeted, and the fake code can remain active for weeks before being noticed. Exploiting QR codes for account linking scams. Some services let you log in or link accounts by scanning a QR code, for example, WhatsApp Web or certain cryptocurrency wallets. Attackers exploit this by creating fake account link QR codes that connect the victim's account to the attacker's device instead. Once linked, the attacker can read messages, transfer funds, or access private data. This method is dangerous because the victim thinks they're authenticating their own account, but in reality, they're granting control to someone else. Since the process uses an official-looking QR scanning page, even cautious users can fall for it. Fake customer support QR codes. Scammers sometimes impersonate customer support by sharing QR codes through social media, forums, or even fake business cards. These codes claim to offer instant chat or priority service with the company. When scanned, they lead to phishing forms or malware downloads instead. In some cases, attackers post these QR codes in public areas near actual company branches or kiosks, making them seem official. For example, a fake bank support QR code stuck to an ATM could lead victims to a spoofed banking login page, stealing credentials before they even contact real support. QR codes in fake parking or fine notices. Attackers leave fake parking tickets or fine notices on vehicles, complete with a QR code for fast payment. These QR codes link to fake payment portals where victims enter credit card details that are immediately stolen. This scam works because the notice looks urgent and official, pressuring the victim to pay quickly to avoid penalties. Since victims believe the fine is legitimate, they rarely question the authenticity of the QR code, especially when the page looks like an official government or parking authority site. Phishing through event check-in, QR codes. Large events like concerts, conferences, or festivals often use QR codes for ticket verification or check-in. Attackers can distribute fake QR codes through unofficial channels, such as social media groups, claiming therefore fast entry or free passes. Scanning these can lead to phishing forms requesting personal data, credit card information, or login credentials for ticketing accounts. Because people are accustomed to scanning event codes for convenience, they often don't verify the source, making this a high-success tactic for scammers. Business invoice, QR code manipulation. In business-to-business scams, attackers intercept legitimate invoices and replace the embedded payment QR code with one linked to their own bank account. The invoice still appears genuine, containing the correct company details, but scanning the QR code sends the payment elsewhere. This is often done after compromising an employee's email account or accessing shared document folders. Since the recipient assumes the invoice is trustworthy, they rarely check the account details before paying, especially if the amount matches previous transactions. Fake QR codes in public Wi-Fi locations. Coffee shops, airports, and hotels often post QR codes for quick Wi-Fi access. Attackers can replace these with malicious codes that lead to fake login portals, capturing entered details or installing malware on devices. For example, an attacker might stick a QR code over the official Wi-Fi sign at a cafe, directing victims to a spoofed page that asks for social media or email credentials before granting access. Since public Wi-Fi users are often in a hurry to connect, they're more likely to enter credentials without suspicion. Crypto wallet phishing via QR codes. Cryptocurrency wallets often use QR codes for payment addresses or to request transfers. Attackers exploit this by replacing a legitimate wallet QR code with their own address. This is especially effective in online marketplaces, charity campaigns, or public fundraising events. Once scanned, the victim sends funds directly to the attacker's wallet, a transaction that can't be reversed. Some scams go further by linking the QR code to a phishing site that asks for the victim's private key or recovery phrase, giving the attacker full control of the wallet. The video on screen? Worth a look if you like knowing what most people don't.